I'm gonna go out or
Did
this
this,
is
well, first of all, did everybody go through the ClickUp this week? Did
yeah.
everybody read through?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You saw the documents, yeah.
Yep. Up to
Okay.
speed. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I learned with ClickUp that I'm only going to have one project manager. And I said, Tyler, since you were the first to read it last week, you're going to be the project manager and you're going
Okay.
to uh, communicate to your team members what they have to do.
Gotcha.
Because it costs me a seat for everybody at all the universities. And so
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and take one person out. And so you would have the responsibility of communicating to your other team members what has to be done. And what other teams are doing is they're starting to do WhatsApp so that they communicate with those team members so that you can have those assignments and push them out to your team members. Okay. How does that
That
sound?
sounds good.
Okay. So tell me, what did you guys learn in this last week?
We've got some experience with automation. We worked through the form and we got information into ClickUp and Airtable and then sent email notification. We've kind of documented that process. We started with some terms in the glossary and we came with some questions for you guys.
Okay.
All right. That sounds great. Let's see the flow first.
Sure. Let me get my screen shared.
And you guys look empowered. I don't know why, but you look empowered.
The
Can you
white
tell
background.
no, I don't know. You just look like you just have a lot to say about this process. Can you tell me what was the Alex for you? What was this process like? What was it?
Yeah, it was good to get used to kind of the platforms that we could be using. And for me, I feel like I'm trying to figure out what might be like good alternatives for like, they all kind of have their own automation interface. So what what are sort of the drawbacks of some of the systems like Go High Level or Airtable, and where can we fill in the gaps?
Okay.
Excellent.
It
That is
says sharing
that
is
is what
not
I wanted
turned
to
on.
hear.
I don't know if we could enable
Okay.
that.
Hold on. Let's see. Tyler, yes, allow. Okay.
Uh, can I get this on?
Really want to see that. I think
Do you want to see like the automation diagram?
they're in
I
210.
want to see all of it.
210.
So I have a Figma. This is in the way here. Can I move this?
Okay.
There we go. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yes.
Zoom in for me.
Yep. So this is just the basic kind of flow that we have right now. You
Okay.
submit the form in GHL. That sends a webhook. Right now we're using NAN, and we create a work order in Airtable, and it also creates a task and ClickUp, and then the user gets created a notification of that task in ClickUp. That's how we've got
Great.
it set up right now.
So you've decided to use Airtable and ClickUp, a hybrid version.
Yeah, we weren't sure. A question we had was how the users are like going to see information and see tasks and like see the status of their work orders. So right now we just had that in ClickUp and like through a task. We don't know if there's any other like how are users currently seeing stuff like this and accessing like from the front end.
Mhm.
So they're assigned um I usually, just like you guys, access ClickUp with based upon I guess the project area. So all of your work is under your university, right? Champlain College.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So this ClickUp would probably want to go to like talented marketing talents. I guess we could actually create a space for talented marketing talents, and this would go there. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yep, talented marketing talents. And then an email notification, probably to myself
Well,
first.
we also want to send one to the client so they know it's
Yeah,
like
we could do
in
both.
Yep.
progress.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like the email notification, we included like a link to the task itself, so they can click
Mhm.
that and then see that from there.
Excellent. I will say that traditionally clients knowing or their understanding of how the actual process works is very
Limited.
limited.
Yeah.
And so a little trick that I do is when I send them things like they just want to see it's in progress, right? So
Just to
sometimes
know it happened.
you can fake, right? Like a progress bar or some sort of like, I don't
Buffer.
know, big calculation graph, background, computer, thing, right? It's usually a video or a clip or something, so they kind of feel like they visually like see something is happening, and that usually
Yeah.
gives them the reassurance that something is happening in the background.
Yeah, just something basic so they know that's actually working for them.
Right.
And this is good because this email will say, congratulations, your work is in progress, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
The other diagram was just a little more detailed between Airtable and ClickUp and how Airtable is more like a backend and that data there will be used to create content and stuff like that. And then ClickUp Task is more like a front end where like the user can view the progress and then by the end approve the content, and that's when the content is posted. That was just our initial kind of work, how we thought through it.
Okay, so it's a work order, but then, okay, so this is the work order for the work order. What happens about how the data flows? So this is just the work order. What about the data?
Well, that's kind of this square here. Obviously, we haven't got into that fully,
Okay,
but the work order is an Airtable, and that record of that, the data through that record that all the information they submitted, like the platforms they want to use, the type of content, that's a record in Airtable.
okay,
And then that data can get pushed to other places to get used to create the content,
okay.
come back to
Okay.
the user.
I'm
Okay.
proud of you guys that you just, what I'm saying, were able to look at this, start to apply this. What questions do you have now?
Well, we want to see it run, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Just because I honestly, you guys have gotten further than I expected you to. The working demo wasn't due for another week.
Yeah, we
So
wanted to like get things up and running so that if
this is
we came
impressive.
to you and things wanted to change, we'd have time to do that.
Okay,
But we'll show you what we got so far, and then we'll ask
Mhm.
you some questions.
sure.
That work? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the form. It's pretty basic right now. We'd want to add some more logic things, but that's something we've had trouble with GHL. But
Okay.
for now, we'll preview it. We have a bunch of test information in here. Submit that. This would be automated, but right now it's not published, so you just have to manually do the automation. This is in Go High Level. It's a trigger when the form is submitted, and then it submits this webhook with the information. This webhook gets caught in NAN. Let me turn that on. I'm just gonna wait a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So now all that data is in NAN. We filter out because in Go High Level, when you send a webhook, it sends all the information in Go High Level about that contact. So we just kind of filter out the stuff for that form specifically. And then we send the record to Airtable, which is here, right there, just popped up. Just all their test information, the URL, different platforms, content types, and then we have an approval status that could be updated at some point.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, you guys, this is much further than I was initially expecting.
We got a good team here. What, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, so we just created a new task and ClickUp,
okay.
the due date, just the URL, it's basic stuff. And then it should have just sent me an email.
Yeah.
And then just information about that. This can obviously change, but just to make sure like the data flows to the email.
I like the email. Yes.
And where did that email come from? That came from high level? That
That came from NANet,
okay,
automated through NANet right here.
okay. Send the message. Okay, so you send it in
Yep.
in. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, you connected your Gmail to, okay.
Yep.
And I'll kind of just add, we were like recently looking at kind of cutting out N8N for now, and seeing if it could be done just in Go High Level.
Correct.
The only, we can send both a webhook to Airtable from there, and we can submit an email notification to both you and client, but we can't get ClickUp right now, and that's kind of the next thing we're looking into is sending a webhook to ClickUp without having to connect the account.
Okay, I believe Go High Level has a connection to Airtable and to ClickUp. There should be a node. Does the node not work?
The node we found, it's not like a native node. It's like community created, and you have to like pay per use. So that'd be something to consider.
How much is the pay
Okay.
per use? So we add that
It's a premium node. Both
Yeah,
of
it's a
those are
premium.
considered premium nodes, correct?
It might be like a
pass
set
that
per
on,
use.
pass that on to the customer. Like,
That's what would, yeah, that's what essentially would be happening.
So
yeah.
like we could either go that way, or we could, like, so far I've liked keeping things centralized in N8N. So like if there is ever problems with an automation, you don't like to find any issues, it's all in one place instead of jumping between places. So if we want to use N8N, I would probably prefer that at the moment, just because having all this in one place instead of having a webhook that sends the Airtable, having another webhook that sends to Create Task, another webhook that sends to Gmail, all in different places, kind of can make things tricky, but something we
Okay.
can consider.
And this NAN account is one you created
Yeah,
for, okay. All
yeah,
right.
it's a 2-week free trial.
2 weeks. And how much is it after the free trial?
We can look into that.
It's
I'm
like
not exactly sure off the top of my head.
$25 a month or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I pay for in.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, Morgan, so then what's the next steps with the production process?
Well, one question I wanted to ask is does the form have to be created and go high level, or is that something we could explore with different platforms?
Well, that's what we currently have a subscription, and that's where that's where I want to keep everything in high level just because that's where all the data is.
Okay, that makes sense. So next steps, I guess.
Well, and then on top of that, we were looking at doing sub accounts. Are you familiar? The Go High Level has like sub accounts when you have an agency view. And so the idea behind it is that we can take one single business organization, put all their contacts in, manage them through the CMS, be able to send them out all of their customers, emails, notifications, billing, all of that stuff, and then also maintain that particular organization's social media and things like that through there. So that's initially why we are using Go High Level for that. And so
Yeah,
knowing that we were going to, again, still probably be sending out emails and all of those stuff through Go High Level, is why we were really trying to keep everything centralized. And then on
okay.
top of that, part of their data flow is Airtable for sure. I definitely like how you have that set up. But I'm also thinking that because Go High Level has a media storage area as well,
Can we pull from there?
Airtable will let you pull from, because they have their own database, but essentially, yeah, to be able to upload all of their social media back to their Go High Level account. That way they always have it, right? So if they decide they want to use it in something else or later down the road, I've never run into a media storage limit with Go High Level.
Yeah, that was a question we had, is storage. So if go high level is the place, that makes sense.
And so again, and I only think they added this in recently, some sort of a social media approval system. I want to say I just saw a video on it like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Uh, um,
But we also are using storage for, I guess now, I mean, so YouTube, we grab the URL, that's part of the work order. We now have that video from URL. What about Zenfolio? Can we grab from Zenfolio as well?
we can, I think the links from Zenfolio are a little bit different in the sense of when I was moving them over from Zenfolio directly to Kapling, I ended up half the time using a Chrome extension to pull
No.
that specific URL.
No, they've got different URLs in Zenfolio. I probably should have told you how to go get them. That's directly the video. So they've got a ton of URLs in Zenfolio, and only one gives you the original file.
Okay.
And so can we pull from, because I'm assuming if Kapwing can pull the video like it is in YouTube and put it into Kapwing, then we could probably do the same thing with the URL from Zenfolio, or go into the API of Zenfolio to grab content too. So can we check on that? Can I give y'all the information for Zenfolio, and you guys check on how we pull? Because sometimes when we are from the photography, videography side, when I go to a client, I go out, I capture the video. The first place I put it is in Zenfolio because it's not really prepped for consumption at that time. It's just storage. It's our library.
Okay.
So what would you guys need to add that to the workflow? Probably
So
back.
that'd be getting the video from Zenfolio and bringing it other places.
Yes, because
Okay.
right now the process is like so Shafia does webinar, and this is what we're working with right now with Shafia. She took the webinar and we cut down the webinar, but now we need B-roll, and that B-roll needs to probably come from the Zenfolio file. So
Okay.
like right now, Morgan, when he's talking about she doesn't like the video of herself in the car, I've got some video that I took from her on the porch that's 10 times better and looking cinematic because I shot it on my phone cinematically. So I would like to see the workflow come from uh, YouTube. And we're gonna use Kapleen, Morgan? I mean, it's up and running. Did you like it? With the B-roll stuff?
I think it's fine for if we were doing it manually, but I don't like it for the actual AI automation side of it, just
Cool.
because,
Yeah, we were looking into that this morning and we had some trouble finding exactly how to go
right.
about that.
So I think it's fine from a manual standpoint, but not from an AI automation standpoint.
What would be better?
I put together a short automation using Clapper, I want to say it's called.
Okay.
But I was still running some overall test on it. But as far as I can tell, they have a pay-as-you-go type of
Model? Okay.
model.
Okay.
So we would only necessarily be paying for what we use. So yeah, I've been kind of messing with that recently. And it puts in subtitles and all that stuff like that. I want to go back through the API documentation and see if we can kind of get some sort of B-roll on there.
But can we do Clapper NAN and Zenfolio for B-roll? That way we go out and we capture, and then Zenfolio comes in for B-roll.
The problem with using Zenfolio or really any B-roll is that it has to be categorized in the sense of the AI. Okay, let me back up. So either it needs to be categorized in the sense of this video is about this or something like that. Or you have to set up an automation that has the video actually watched by AI, even if it's a clip, to know what's in there. And
Okay,
so, you see what I'm saying? Because how is
I mean, and this is what I never use Clapper, and because I never use the SEO features in Zenfolio where I am actually saying, hey, this video is about X, Y, and Z, because there is a place where you can do that. But
Mhm.
can we add that to the work order though? Can we say, okay, we want this folder from Zenfolio added with this clip from, like they've done on the front end with saying where the URL addresses are? Can we put that in the work order and say, hey, these two, we want these two combined as, because Completing does that right now. Like it'll tell you, hey, give me a URL address for your B-roll.
Mhm. Okay.
So what's the next process now? Okay, so they've got the idea of, hey, work order, client gets notified, data's in Airtable. Where to next? Clapper NAN and
We were gonna ask them what tool specific they want to use to join clips, right? But it
I
looks
think
like,
we're kind of, yeah, I don't know.
okay. Yeah, because she was talking about Champlan and yeah, but I don't know.
Munch, no Munch, because Munch is gonna munch it up.
Yeah.
That is what Clapper would do.
Okay, so Clapper is Munch.
All right, give me a second.
Okay.
Base home. Okay, all right, so let me put in Zenfolio right quick.
Okay.
Because you're looking at having that be B-roll. Like a folder that they could pull from.
Right. And can we tell it up front when we do the trigger, the initial trigger?
We can potentially build that into the form. Let me see the form again, guys. Okay, so I guess let's back up. So you guys had additional questions before I start all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some issues we had with creating the former GHL was like if you want specific um information per platform, like I want this many TikTok videos, I want them about this. It's kind of hard to do because the logic in GHL, you can't put logic on these kind of fields, like the multi-choice fields. So like I can't like if the user clicks TikTok, bring up another field. How many videos do you want for TikTok? Bring up another field. What kind of content? So that's kind of an issue. I don't know if we saw you share like a recommended posting frequency page with like you want this many videos for each platform per month. I don't know if that's something you'd want us to just automatically follow, or if the user wants some way to manually change that number.
Can we do a different question after that? Select the platforms and then can we do another question like an open-ended question like
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah, it's just
talking
hard
about.
because they're all different. Like you don't want like 16 TikTok videos and 16 YouTube videos, you know. Maybe we could differentiate these by like short form, mid form, long form, and then how many do you want of the short form? How many each do you want of the mid form? How many each do you want of the long form? Maybe.
Actually click on,
custom fields. Click on custom fields at the top.
no, I'm
Like
looking for
are you looking for the
the,
automate button or the logic button?
yes, thank you.
Yeah. So if I wanted to like show new fields,
Mhm.
I can't run this on those
So
multi
if,
choice.
organization, scroll down,
Yeah, there's nothing more.
post time. Mm. Let me see what the radio buttons. So where you
Yeah,
have
they,
like the TikTok, the
like,
actual,
are the radio buttons like you can only select one though?
are the radio buttons what?
So you can only select one option? Because ideally, like they could select multiple options, right?
With the checkbox, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Right, I wanted to see basically the checkbox, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
but you can't do a custom field where you say where because if you click on custom fields where
Like add.
add, and then can't you just do like open-ended, like not checkbox, but like
Like a
text box?
multi.
You would, okay,
Can
yeah, I
we
It's
do
see what
text
you're
just
saying.
box? Oh no, no, do
Yeah,
a
maybe.
multi-line. Yeah, can we do because it's just like this is gonna be information. 3, 4, 5.
yeah, it's just then you run like they have to spell it right, like the right formatting, stuff like that.
Okay, got it.
Instead of having us pre-formatting it and they just select each one.
Okay.
Okay,
Because this
Numbers.
information we get past like the Airtable and click up and stuff and get used to other places.
Mm.
This was one reason like I was asking about other forms because look at like the form creator and Airtable allows me to do stuff like this, but we want to keep it in GHL, so we can look
No
or work
forms where allow you to do this?
in Airtable,
Airtable.
or
Okay.
even.
Well, if Airtable is going to be part of the system, then we could use a Airtable form.
It's just you wouldn't be able to have the rest of the contact information that you have from GHL. Maybe there's some way to automate, like it might be more difficult to connect users to their work orders
Okay,
Gotcha.
if you put
let's
it in
back
Airtable.
up for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know we want them, i.e. the user, to end up with 90 pieces of content. So the question really becomes is they give one long form video and it automatically gets broken up into those pieces of content. That, Tamisha, that is one option. So therefore they do not get
An option.
a
An option.
choice of breaking down each piece of content into whatever that is.
I like that. We can let it see it run and we can come back with another generation next time.
Okay. Yeah.
So, right, and that's what I'm thinking. Either we have, cool, here's your social media output, boom, they
3
put in
months.
their video and it spits out all 90 pieces that they need for the month, and that's it.
Right. I
So-
mean, because this is just the beginning. So we're going to come back with reiterations as we make more money, then we can be able to move it and solve the problems that's coming from a restricted budget.
And so the other side of that is to either break all the individual components down and say, hey, they want X amount of TikTok videos, X amount of YouTube shorts, X amount of, or.
Yeah, because I like the idea of saying, I mean, we could even tell the system equal amounts, because what we do with the business plan, we're gonna, with the business plan, let them, and I'm even talking about for now, the TMT talented for the artist. We'll know from the business plan what platforms they're going through. And it's just like, this is the automated side. You don't get much options here. Here's content. There you go. And when you want something more customized, then you see our artist. And I like that because it doesn't give the computer we gotta leave room for the artist too. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to be able to say, hey, for the low price plan, here you go. Now you want a higher option, here you go.
Okay. So with that clarity, what we want to do is instead of giving them the option to select the different social media platforms, we're just gonna do the long form video URL, put a placeholder for the Zenfolio URL that can pull B-roll, and just have a little blurb or something that says, hey, you know, this is 90 pieces of content for all of your social media platforms, and just leave it that way. So we're gonna remove the
So we'd get rid of these two fields, is what you're saying?
basically.
Okay.
For this work order, because we'll have other work orders for other types of content.
Right.
That are more specific.
Right. So this is
And
the webinar to, this particular work order is webinar to webinar 90 pieces of content.
Correct.
and is it usually one webinar per month? So one webinar is creating those 90 pieces of content?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Webinar 90.
Yep.
Bet.
Yeah. I think we've answered most of our questions that we had for you guys. I don't know if you have any more for us.
Nope. And so, so it's going to be cut in, are you saying Morgan cut and clapper?
Yeah, I'll need to go back and think about it in the sense of B-roll from Zenfolio. That was not initially part of the scope.
Okay.
Um,
And
part of the,
I'm just thinking of the client that we have right now. You know, that's, conversation of images. We'll probably see that conversation on Thursday.
I got it. The whole point of being able to clip is being able to take parts of the webinar, i.e. her face, right? And be able to make those clips and push it to social media. And so now, to kind of run into that she has a problem with that. And now we need to kind of figure out what like B-roll in terms of like covering the entire clips now, or
because I think that she had, and we come across this a lot in film, like, I look fat, I don't want that, no, so, that's the nature of it all. Like, it's certain times, if I don't have my hair dyed, I'm sorry, you're not posting that. So I get it. And so that's really what's going to make us, if we can figure that out, and then we can come in with original footage that does it. I think that we'll put ourselves, we can make more people happy, because we're talking about their image. We're talking about how they're going to, how they live online, and how they pretend to be that person. And we all do it, So I get, and there are some better clips for her. So I want to see, I want to be able, when we go into this call on Thursday, say, okay, we get it, we hear it, but it takes more time to do that. And it takes more money to get that done, So, and I think if we could pull from Zenfolio, that is original footage.
right, okay.
And is Zenfolio you want like something else to have access on, or just create accounts and test some things?
No, I'm going to give you access to the TMT Youth Community Foundation accounts. I'll put that in ClickUp, so you'll have that. And then there's like a back, let me just show you now. So let me give you to it now, and I'll give it to you in chat. Hold on. No, I'm gonna stop recording.